know if it's going to record what's playing right now. I thought that just only happened for Snapchat. But on these drives, I get a little bit of time to think and process thoughts. And I just have to show and remind myself to have gratitude for where I'm at, where our business has gotten to. Even though, you know, I wanted more in my life, and I knew I could handle more. It just took a lot of time, effort, and energy, and patience, and consistency to grow and build the business to the point of where it's at. Like, we've come a long way from delivering 1 castle, 2 castles a week. You know, and I think back to before Cool Castles was even Cool Castles. And, you know, I still had the 9-to-5 job, or the 12 to 12 job, the Saturday to Sunday job, the night shift job. And I had to put in a lot of time, effort, energy to get Cool Castles to where it is today. And I'm grateful, and I remind myself of gratitude, but it didn't come easy. And that's something people have to remember, that, you know, good things don't come easy. And if you're in a situation where you're struggling financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you have to put in that time, that work, that effort, that energy, and you have to believe in yourself that you can achieve more, that you can do more in your life. And it's not gonna happen overnight. Like, this is our 6th summer in operation, and it took some time to build connections, build that client base. It took a lot of time. It took a lot of trial and error. And for myself, I seem to always learn the hard way, because nobody's showing me, nobody's directing me, nobody's guiding me, nobody's telling me do this, do that. We started from the ground up, man. We started from, you know, starting this business on my credit card, a $2,500 investment, which at the time seemed too much. I was like, yo, I don't know if I want to do this. I had a little bit of self-doubt and stuff like that. But over time, it fell into place as it should. It was definitely not easy, though. You know, from renting out tiny little castles during COVID, during the pandemic, when everything was shutting down, we were starting a business. And I just thought I would share this with whoever hears it, whoever wants to listen, whoever wants to take some advice. And if you have an idea, or if you're going through struggle and you know that you can do more, you can make that happen for yourself. You just gotta put in that time, you gotta put in that work, you gotta put in that effort, you gotta put in that energy, the blood, sweat, the tears, you know what I mean? You gotta put that in order to achieve something that you want. And you gotta be patient. It's not gonna happen overnight. And another key thing that came to building a business without financial help, without that financial backing, having a family that came from a bunch of money, was whatever I made, it it wasn't pay for myself. I never paid myself up until the 5th year of having this business. The 1 year I paid myself $1,000. You know, and I was double shifting. I was grinding out. I was doing night shift, and right after my night shift, I'd get off my night shift, tired, unmotivated. But I told myself I gotta push. I gotta push forward and make these deliveries happen. I gotta set up, show up, wrap up, do the do's, and in the end, this is gonna be worth it. And it took time, man. It took a lot of time, and I stayed consistent with it, with the help of my partner, having some connections, but the work still had to be done. The time still had to be put in, and that's something you can't forget. When you're wanting more in your life, you're capable of doing more. It's just a matter of you having limitations upon yourself, saying, I'm too tired, you know, I didn't get enough sleep, I gotta work today. You gotta realize if you want more, you gotta do more. In order to have more, you gotta be more. You gotta change as a person. You gotta be willing to put in that time, that work, that effort, that energy. And it's not easy to build and grow something for yourself that you have ownership over. It's not easy because you start down here, start very small with small sales. But over time, those small sales are going to build and they're going to grow and they're going to keep compounding up to the point where, you know, this weekend, for example, we're doing 5 different events. We're in 5 different places. 5 castle events happening at the same time. It may not be perfect, you know, there's some weather conditions, there's troubleshooting and stuff like that, but we're making it happen, and I'm just super grateful. But I thought I'd share that little bit with whoever's going to listen to this, whoever's going to see this, whoever's going to watch this. That if you have an idea inside your mind, make that happen, man. There's hope. There's a way. You can either find excuses or you can find a way to make it happen. It's not going to be easy, but it will be worth it. So just stay positive, believe in yourself, believe that you can achieve. In order to achieve, you got to believe. You got to believe inside your body, you got to believe inside your mind. And I was always taught and I learned that in order to see something with your eyes, you got to see it in your mind first. You got to have that visualization. Visualization is key. You might not see it around you. It may not exist. It may seem so far out there. But if you can see it in your mind with your eyes closed, you can see it in your life with your eyes open, and it can happen for you. You just gotta put it out there. You gotta make those phone calls. You gotta grind out a bit, you know. If you have a job, picture this too. You have that job because somebody else tells you, hey, I'm gonna give you a paycheck. You're gonna work for this paycheck as long as you show up. You know, don't be late. You show up for someone else. But you gotta really think of that. If you show up for someone else, how come you're not willing to show up for yourself? How come you're not willing to say, hey, I want to build this for me. I want to build this for my future. I want to build this for my kids. I want to build this for my well-being. Instead of showing up for someone else, you got to learn to show up for yourself. And that may consist of, you know, still holding on to that job until you build something big enough, large enough to leave and branch off from that job. A job is great. It pays you good. You enjoy the work. It's awesome. But know that there's more out there for you. If you're struggling, you can build something tiny, something small, that over time it's going to compound and turn into something better for yourself. Instead of being the middleman, you can be the main man or main woman. You just got to believe to achieve, man. And there's opportunity all around us. There's spots and positions for everyone to fulfill. You have a unique identity, you have a unique ability, you have a unique skill. You can utilize that and share that with the world around us to make every day a little bit better, not just for yourself, but for other people. And it's the best feeling in the world to wake up and do what you set out in front of you. It's just there's something different about, you know, getting the work done for yourself rather than getting the work done for someone else. And me, I've always been the hardest worker in the room. Back in the day in the oil field, you know, when I was walking 20-30 kilometers a day, carrying my lunch, my 1 gallon jug of water, my freaking food, carrying it on my back, I'd always do more work than everyone else. And people were like, Dane, why you work so hard? How do you work so hard? Man, you're just full of energy. You're 5 kilometers ahead of us. How do you do that? It's not how I do it. I just do it. You know, I just have that built in me, and it was work ethic that got me to where I'm at today. You gotta learn to do a little bit more. The man that does more will always have more. That's a belief that I have, and it's very true. Even if you're in a position where you don't want to be there, you still got to do the best of your abilities. You got to complete that job to the best of your well-being, and you're going to carry that on to the next position that you're in, or the next job that you go to. And that's a strong skill to have. But anyway, I just thought I would share a little bit, and I'm just super grateful for today. There's been some twists and turns and some mistakes along the way, but that's just how it goes. Nothing's a perfect road, but you keep pushing forward, you keep grinding out, you keep showing up. Just do what you got to do. You do what you got to do to get your pot of stew, you know what I mean? But yeah, stay positive, live life with gratitude, and keep pushing forward, man.